Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the past to uncover 65 history facts that your school textbooks might have missed. Get ready to be amazed by these lesser-known historical tidbits. "65 history facts they didn't teach you at school." Number 1. Did you know that a singing birthday card has more computing power than the entire Allied army of World War II? That's right, the tiny chip in your musical card outperforms all the tech used in the 1940s war efforts. Number 2. Augustus Caesar, the nephew and heir of Julius Caesar, was the wealthiest man to ever live, with an estimated net worth of $4.6 trillion when adjusted for inflation. Number 3. Alexander the Great was buried alive, accidentally. Modern scientists believe he suffered from Guillain-Barré syndrome, which left him paralyzed but mentally aware at the time of his death. Number 4. The world's most successful pirate was not a fearsome bearded man, but a lady named Qing Shi. She commanded over 300 warships and up to 80,000 pirates, and was so powerful that the Chinese government pardoned her just to restore peace. Number 5. In the ancient Olympics, athletes performed naked to imitate the gods and to clear toxins through sweating. The word gymnastics actually comes from the Greek words for athletic training and naked. Number 6. Rasputin, the Russian mystic, survived being poisoned and shot multiple times. His resilience has baffled historians and scientists alike. Number 7. Did you know there were female gladiators in ancient Rome? Known as gladiatrices, these women fought bravely in the Colosseum, challenging the stereotypes of their time. Number 8. The longest year in history was over 400 days long due to the calendar adjustment known as the Julian calendar reform. Number 9. Hitler had a hand in designing a vehicle that is still driven today. His influence helped create the Volkswagen Beetle, intended to be the people's car. Number 10. King Mansa Musa of Timbuktu is often considered the richest person in history, with wealth so immense it was said to be incalculable. Number 11. The Great Wall of China is not visible from space, contrary to popular belief. It's actually very difficult to see any man-made structures from that far away. Number 12. Queen Elizabeth I translated a work by the ancient Roman philosopher Boethius while she was under house arrest, ordered by her half-sister Queen Mary I. Number 13. The shortest war in history lasted only 38 minutes, between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Number 14. Before becoming the leader of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin was a poet, and his works were published in Georgian newspapers. Number 15. During the 17th century, tulip mania swept through the Netherlands, causing a single tulip bulb to be worth more than a house at the peak of the craze. Number 16. The Dancing Plague of 1518 was a bizarre event in Strasbourg where hundreds of people danced for days without rest, and some even danced to their deaths due to exhaustion or heart attack. Number 17. Julius Caesar was once kidnapped by pirates. He maintained such a demeanor of superiority throughout his captivity that he even demanded they increase his ransom, which they did. After his release, he returned with a fleet, captured the pirates, and had them crucified. Number 18. The first recorded instance of biological warfare was in 1346 when the Mongols catapulted plague-infested bodies over the city walls of Kaffa. Number 19. Leonardo da Vinci could write with one hand and draw with the other simultaneously. Number 20. During the Victorian era, post-mortem photography was a common practice where families would take photos with their deceased loved ones as a final memento. Number 21. The Eiffel Tower was originally intended to be dismantled and sold as scrap after its construction for the 1889 World's Fair. Thankfully, it was saved due to its value as a radio telegraph station. Number 22. Before alarm clocks were affordable, knocker-uppers were hired to shoot peas at workers' windows to wake them up for their shifts in the morning. Number 23. Nicolaus Copernicus, the astronomer who proposed that the Earth revolves around the Sun, never saw his theory proven as it was only confirmed after his death. Number 24. Vincent van Gogh only sold one painting during his lifetime, The Red Vineyard. He lived in poverty and obscurity, unaware of the fame and fortune his work would eventually bring. Number 25. The first computer programmer was a woman named Ada Lovelace, who wrote algorithms for Charles Babbage's analytical engine in the mid-1800s. Number 26. The concept of zero as a number was first used in India and was critical for the development of mathematics and science. Number 27. During the 1920s, flagpole sitting was a bizarre fad where people would compete to see who could sit on top of a flagpole for the longest time. Number 28. Before becoming the first president of the United States, George Washington was a successful liquor distributor, producing rye whiskey and brandy. Number 29. The original London Bridge was sold to an American entrepreneur in 1968, who mistakenly thought he was buying the more iconic Tower Bridge. Number 30. In medieval times, animals could be put on trial and were often assigned lawyers. They could be found guilty of various crimes and punished accordingly. Number 31. The first proposal for space travel in English history was made by Oliver Cromwell's brother-in-law, who suggested shooting a man to the moon using a giant spring. Number 32. The shortest-serving president of the United States was William Henry Harrison, who died of pneumonia just 31 days after taking office. Number 33. In ancient Egypt, servants were smeared with honey to attract flies away from the pharaoh. Number 34. During Prohibition in the United States, the government poisoned alcohol to discourage consumption. This led to thousands of deaths. Number 35. The last emperor of China, Puyi, became a gardener after he was dethroned following the Chinese Revolution. Number 36. Did you know that the first vending machine was invented in ancient Egypt? It dispensed holy water after a coin was inserted. Number 37. New York City was briefly the U.S. capital from 1785 to 1790 before it was moved to Philadelphia and eventually to Washington, D.C. Number 38. The famous nursery rhyme, Ring Around the Rosie, is actually about the bubonic plague that devastated Europe in the 14th century. Number 39. Before becoming the infamous dictator of Germany, Adolf Hitler aspired to be an artist. He applied twice to the Academy of Fine Arts, Vienna, but was rejected both times. Number 40. The first recorded instance of a tomato-based sauce was in 1692, in a cookbook published in Naples, Italy. Number 41. During the Renaissance, wine windows were used in Florence to sell wine directly from the producer's window to the street, a precursor to the modern drive-through. Number 42. The first recorded use of anesthesia was in ancient Mesopotamia, where they used plant extracts to sedate patients during surgeries. Number 43. Did you know that the first sunglasses were used in 12th century China? They were made from flat panels of smoky quartz. Number 44. The Blood Countess, Elizabeth Báthory, is said to have bathed in the blood of young women to retain her youth, making her one of the most infamous serial killers in history. Number 45. Before the invention of erasers, breadcrumbs were commonly used to remove pencil marks from paper. Number 46. The first known "your mom" joke was discovered on a 3,500-year-old Babylonian tablet. Number 47. In 16th century France, wearing high heels was a male fashion trend before it became associated with women's fashion. Number 48. Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel in 1952, but he declined. Number 49. The first recorded instance of plastic surgery was found in ancient Indian Sanskrit texts dating back to 600 BCE. Number 50. During World War II, the British Army used inflatable tanks to fool the German Army into thinking they had a larger force. Number 51. The first known use of the term America to refer to the New World was in a map created by the German cartographer Martin Waldseemüller in 1507. Number 52. Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza? Number 53. The last time the Olympic Games were held in the ancient world was in 393 AD, before they were banned by the Roman Emperor Theodosius I. Number 54. During the 19th century, mummy unwrapping parties were a popular social event in Europe, where guests would gather to unwrap and view an ancient Egyptian mummy. Number 55. The first recorded instance of a tomato being eaten in Europe was in 1548 in Italy, although it was initially believed to be poisonous. Number 56. Did you know that the first recorded "thank you" note dates back to ancient China? It was written on silk and expressed gratitude for a gift of peaches. Number 57. The tradition of brides wearing white wedding dresses was popularized by Queen Victoria in 1840. Before that, brides simply wore their best dress. Number 58. During the Middle Ages, barbers performed surgery along with haircuts and shaves, which is why the barber pole has red stripes to represent blood. Number 59. The first known lottery in England was chartered by Queen Elizabeth I in 1566 and was drawn in 1569. Number 60. Before the invention of the printing press, books were written by hand and could take years to complete. Number 61. The first known concept of a robot was created by the ancient Greeks, who built mechanical figures that could move on their own. Number 62. Did you know that the first recorded instance of a person being struck and killed by a meteorite was in 1677? Number 63. During the 18th century, pineapples were so rare and expensive that people would rent them as a centerpiece for their gatherings. Number 64. The Canary Girls were British women during World War I who worked in munitions factories, handling TNT. The chemicals turned their skin yellow, hence the nickname. Number 65. The tradition of the honeymoon began in ancient Babylon, where for a month after the wedding, the bride's father would supply his son-in-law with all the mead he could drink. Mead is a honey beer, and because their calendar was lunar-based, this period was called the honey month, or what we know today as the honeymoon. And there you have it, 65 historical facts that offer a glimpse into the lesser-known aspects of our past. If you're enjoying this journey through history, please like, share, and subscribe for more enlightening episodes. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.